you've obviously focused on how our buddy Joe Matarese, when he interviews a guest, he starts off with a really bad question.
Yeah.
I think Joe right here to Katt gives Joe Rogan gives Matarese what should be his new first question to all of his guests in clip 1.
Why do black people like menthol so much? What's that about? It's a totally different type of cigarette.
You're going to get me canceled.
No.
This is very racist, this
Is
conversation, even though neither of us are. Go figure.
Just talking about a type of cigarette that people enjoy?
Just saying, why do black people like Newport so much? And a black person actually getting ready to answer this, it's terrible on all ends.
I don't think it is.
Well, I don't think it is either, because we have
Joe thinks
It's like if you
okay.
start asking me about spaghetti, I'm not going to get offended. You start asking me about Italian food or why are Italian people so loud, I'm not going to get offended.
How many people have ever died of pasta-related illnesses?
A lot,
Joe.
A lot of fatzos out there kicking the.
I have a feeling this seems like Katt's sandbagging him.
A little bit,
Like Katt Williams was so controversial and so interesting. And so this boring question about why do black people like menthols? Well, they taste delicious is the answer. They're smooth and, satisfying because we have good taste.
If you jump to clip 2, he does try to give the answer to the question after sandbagging.
Back to where we were.
Yeah.
You were asking me about the menthol cigarettes.
Oh, that's right.
And the answer is...
They're minty and fresh.
We value strength in product.
That's what Rachel would say.
So there's this whole thing with liquor and malt liquor and the difference between the two, and one is richer and stronger.
Hold on a second.
And,
The more potent version.
right. And as
that makes
a
sense.
people...
Whoa. Malt liquor and liquor are two very different things. What is he talking about? What's stronger? Yeah, liquor is.
we tend to go with those products.
That doesn't make any sense.
No, malt liquor is stronger than liquor. Oh, it's stronger than beer, I think.
Stronger than beer is the...
Does Joe go, oh, I'm sorry, you're incorrect?
What Joe should have said is, you're really stoned. Let's do this later. Let's try this again tomorrow. You are out of your mind right now.
There's a clip that might reflect that, but first, before we get to that one, clip 3, Katt got some attention, negative attention, for comparing transgenderism to the work of a demon, a very specific demon. Clip 3.
So 20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ass ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things.
Drugs are bad. Okay.
Kiss his ass ring? Not just the ass, like a butt cheek. All right. But an ass ring?
Carl, let's not pretend that's not how I got to do Who Are These Broadcasters, all right?
I wasn't going to say anything.
That's all right.
Trying to protect you, buddy.
All right, so he piggybacks on that with this next comment of something he predicted. And then Joe, in clip 4, is going to finish this up by saying what we're all thinking.
And that somehow calling people the goat would be normalized over the sheep being always the most popular reference.
God damn, we got some good weed, Katt. Jesus Christ.
This must be the weed
Trying
time.
to figure out how to jump in on that.
Right. Which is my only goal.
Joe's thinking. He's trying. He didn't come up with anything.
#1 podcast in the world, everybody. Holy shit. This This is terrible.
Yeah, I think we work too hard over here.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Episode 500, we start a new thing where we just get stoned and talk about demons.
Shrooms.
Yeah, sounds good.
Peanut butter.
This is insane.
Jump ahead to clip 6. This is another good icebreaker for Joe Matarese to start using.
I just want to point something out here. Christian Bladt sat through 3 hours of this and was going to be polite and not bring it up when I forgot to get to it during the show. If I were you, I'd be like, "Hey, motherfucker, we're not listening. We're not doing Catch an Alien yet."
That's why I was surprised. I'm like, "Oh, Catch an Alien. Hey, are we going to play those clips that I stayed up till 2:45 working on?" Okay.
I know.
Oh, we're going right to the news. Okay.
Okay.
He must be really building up to it.
All right, I'm sorry. You're setting up track 6 here?
Yeah, so it's another great question from Joe here, clip 6.
What do you think ghosts are?
Dead people.
You think that's real?
Oh man, this is terrible.
Interestingly, I don't believe in.
What do you think spooks are?
Well,
Okay. Wow. He's having a tough go. I've been this stoned before. It's not fun.
Just not usually in front of a microphone.
No, not
Never.
since I was in my early 20s. I've been this stoned because now I know better. But this, he is going through it right now.
Yeah, usually when I'm really high, everything's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's turning
Dude,
inward.
if you were this stoned and someone was like, "What do you think ghosts are?" I'd have 3 or 4 quips for that one.
Yeah. Well, my favorite interaction they had is it's a little bit of a longer clip, clip 5. So they're talking about who would actually take a trip to Mars, because of course that's what they're talking about on this show.
Sure.
And then they transition into talking about the rich guys who took that submarine down to the Titanic.
Yep.
So this is what you'd expect when 2 comedians are just sitting around shooting the shit for 3 hours. Clip 5.
several billionaires were talked into getting into a capsule with limited air to go a long way down.
Bro, that's a dark way to die. Just knowing that you chose to
just
do
know,
it.
even if you're a racist hearing this, all death is dark. So
What I mean is the last moments must be horrific.
no more
creaking.
no more horrific than anyone else's.
I know, but there's something about the choice of being, thousands of feet under the water.
No, it's
and
being a
knowing that
billionaire.
It's crushing.
Your soul dies long before.
Jesus.
I'm quitting
I
marijuana.
could have
I quit.
done anything. This is what I chose.
That's hilarious.
That death.
That guy could be fishing in Maui right now. With a nice cold beer, hanging out with his friends, listening to some music. Instead, he hears.
Right.
Did Katt Williams just say that rich people don't have a soul?
Billionaires. I think rich people, beneath a certain tax bracket have a soul, but billionaires don't. I believe that's what Katt just said. Yeah.
Joe Rogan's got to be close to that, right? I would imagine Katt's got a couple bucks in the bank as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Well, he's talking about Steve Harvey again.
yeah, it's insane to me that these people who are doing very, very well will go out there and be like, "Yeah, fuck those billionaires," right? Those jerks.
He said other billionaires.
Yeah, other billionaires. Also, I want to point out that being on the Titanic would be a way worse way to die than being crushed by the pressure immediately in that shitty little submarine thing they were in.
Yeah, go for the pressure.
For sure. Yeah. Joe's just like, "Can you imagine how bad that'd be?" I'm like, it happened in a second. They didn't know. You know what happened. You don't hear a creaking sound. It's not built on a balsa wood.
You mean watching all the people without souls who have more money than you get into the lifeboats while you're going to go sink? Yeah, that might be like, oh, if only there was one more of those boats, maybe I wouldn't be dead.
This conversation is crazy.
Yeah, but Joe laughed so hard that I had to leave it all in.
Yeah.
So your idea that maybe Katt is gaslighting or sandbagging Joe, clip 7 is a little bit representative of that.
The Jewish people are powerful people on this planet, and a lot of that has to do with the process that they have in instilling in their young people a certain amount of information and wherewithal and conversation that does not happen with other cultures, let's say. And
Yeah, the Jewish people are
that
powerful.
exists only in a few places around the world.
He had a very different energy when talking to Shannon Sharp. I just want to point
Yes, he
out.
did.
Very different energy.
I
What is
think
going
that they
on?
were drinking on that show
Yes.
with Shannon Sharp. There was like a carafe of something.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is a very different cat. This is a particularly bonkers theory that he tries to get into, and even Joe can't go along for the ride in clip 8.
Things are based on things like even the Smurfs story, right?
The Smurfs are based on something?
Well, religious people would say, oh, you can't watch the Smurfs because it's bad because they have witchcraft and stuff in there. But the whole thing is it's based on this, the homunculus, the idea that you can create a human life form without a mother or a father. So,
Really? That's what the Smurfs are based on?
Good follow-up question. I'll give that.
so what two
an answer.
Smurfs do you think
I
got
don't know much
together
about Smurf
and
lore.
had Smurfette? She was the only female of the Smurfs. So,
It's a good question.
well, it's not a question in the Smurfs. They tell you that Gargamel made Smurfette.
Okay. I could listen to him talk about the Smurfs for a long time. This is the first interesting topic that's come up on this show.
Yeah, and he's well versed in it.
Yeah, he knows his characters and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, he named the one girl one. So eventually he talks about how he broke the internet, but in no way does he address what he talked about or the fallout from it. So the last clip I'll play from this is clip 10, where Katt is probably just having a little fun with Joe here, just joking around. Clip 10.
That's it.
That's the RollsRoyce. I've never had one of those.
Right. Well, because it's important to you that you be grounded in the important ways. So I can see you not having not had a Rolls-Royce. I've had 4, 5.
I just like that. Well, you're a good person. And by the way, I've had 4 or 5 Rolls Royces.
Right,
Yeah. That's a better last clip than the way the show ended, where it's literally 2 minutes are left. I'm seeing the countdown, and it's like, that's what happened when I broke the internet. And then he just doesn't do anything with it. So it's a long one.
So why didn't Joe ask any of the questions to follow up on that big interview that he had? Was Joe also just high? Was there an agreement ahead of time? Because it seems just from those clips I saw, I haven't watched the whole episode, it seems like Katt Williams is like, oh, you're going to invite me on because I called you out and everyone saw that. And that's why you're going to be on. Well, then I'm going to give you the most boring episode you've ever had.
Which is probably the most boring Rogan I've ever seen. Maybe Jamie just forgot that he was supposed to ask him about it. You know, he forgot to prompt Joe.
Maybe that's what it was. Ah, Joe, come on, buddy. We expect better of you there.
Who are these podcasts?